1988, and the Wimbledon fairy tale climaxed in one of the greatest cup upsets ever seen at Wembley. 9 years on, and Joe Kinnear's class of '97 are still defying the odds and rubbing shoulders with the game's elite. Aston Villa and Manchester United, the League and FA Cup holders, have both been eliminated in defence of their trophies by a Wimbledon side that has dominated the season's sporting headlines. Reputations count for nothing as the all-conquering Dons continue to succeed where bigger names have failed.
Coca to Leonard's. 2-0.
Martin O'Neill's Leicester are tonight's opposition in a two-legged Coca-Cola Cup semi-final. They've only conceded one goal in the competition so far, and also include Manchester United amongst their cup victims. So can Wimbledon inscribe their name on the Coca-Cola Cup? They're still in the FA Cup, of course. So what price them eclipsing the crazy gang of '88 and winning them both? And Dave Besant, the man with the trophy all those years ago, is our studio guest tonight. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Carlton Sport. Dave, these certainly are heady old times for your old club, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are, and to be fair, they've earned the respect and the credit of other teams and other managers, and I'm sure they'd like nothing better than to top it all off belt by winning a trophy.
But nothing surprises you anymore about them?
No, they keep going from strength to strength, and they're getting written off season after season, and this season is probably the best season they've had overall. OK, thanks, Dave. Well, later on in the programme, we'll be offering you the chance of winning tickets to the Coca-Cola Cup final in our competition. But first, let's see if Wimbledon could gain an advantage in tonight's semi-final first leg at Filbert Street. Commentary comes from Ron Atkinson, and first, Clive Tilsley.
The wheel of fortune just keeps on spinning. This is the 20th cup tie that Leicester City and Wimbledon have been involved in this season, and their roads to Wembley are still dual carriageways. Leicester survived by the skin of their teeth in the FA Cup on Sunday, but there's a stronger look about their lineup tonight, even though Neil Lennon is again suspended and Matt Elliott and Ian Marshall cup-tied. Both Muzzy Izzet and Emil Heskey do return to the team, and manager Martin O'Neill has been able to sign up Robert Ullathorne, who played for him at Norwich last season from the Spanish club Osasuna. But tactics and team news are put into context by a tragedy in the life of Gary Parker today. His wife Petra lost a baby just this afternoon. Parker has dashed from the hospital to play tonight. Wimbledon, who've had an extra day to get over their latest cup conquest, have made one change from the team that came from behind to beat Queen's Park Rangers on Saturday. John Goodman is included in preference to Dean Holdsworth. They've already accounted for the holders of both of the major knockout competitions, en route to becoming the favourites to win this one. Maybe Vinnie Jones will get to lift a Wembley trophy or two, although one more yellow card in the Coca-Cola Cup will rule him out of Wimbledon's next tie. Stephen Lodge is in charge. Wimbledon are in red. Only 3 teams have beaten them since the opening week of the season, and Leicester City are one of those. Less than 50 hours since sweating over their FA Cup future, they step back onto the treadmill, and exercising his mind alongside mine tonight, Ron Atkinson.
Yes, I think it's very, very important for Leicester to pick up where they left off on Sunday. They finished full of adrenaline. It's very important they lift the crowd, get plenty of attacks going, and yet at the same time make sure that they don't leave themselves exposed against some of the lightning pace that Wimbledon possess up front.
Jones with the first of his long throws. Turned away by Walsh. 2 captains this evening have 2 of the most infamous disciplinary records in the game, although Wimbledon are almost top of the fair play league this season. Jones finding only Walsh again, and this time the header away by Grayson. Back in by Leonardson. Almost came for John Goodman. This is Efenakoku. Cross from Kenny Cunningham. Leon Hardson was in there again. Parker tidying up. First touch for Ullathorne. He was signed yesterday for £600,000, but really all the sympathy with Gary Parker. Gale well challenged by Ullathorne. Nice ball too into the path of Heskey. It's Emil Heskey. Oh, and somehow kept out by Sullivan at the near post. Hit with immense power by the England under-21 international, Emil Heskey.
Nice little through ball. Heskey peels off into space and looks at Perry, engages him, go past him as if he's not there, blasts it in, and that's a hell of a block from the goalkeeper.
Here's Parker. Wimbledon on their heels a little bit here. Claridge couldn't quite make contact. Heskey does. Important block. Really important block by Robbie Earle. Heskey it was who scored the only goal of the league meeting here a month ago. Martin O'Neill called it Leicester's best win of the season so far. They were good value for their 3 points against Wimbledon that day. Taylor, back out to Grayson. Izic's cross. Ah, lovely skill. Pryor being encouraged to come forward. Now Grayson. There's a freshness about Leicester City. This is Gale. Now Cunningham. Now Otherthorne has pulled up there, having made the interception. Obviously hasn't had much opportunity to train in the last few days, Robert Otherthorne.
He's overstretched and he's doubled his ankle back under him. Well, let's just hope that's not as bad as it looks.
Well, we're talking 12 minutes into his debut. What looked to be a really nasty fall. His ankle just seemed to collapse underneath him. The awkward angle at which he fell, that full stretch. And almost from the instant he went down, Martin O'Neill and his backroom staff there, John Robertson and Steve Walford, were having to prepare a substitution. And Jamie Lawrence is that substitute, as poor Robert Otherthorne's first appearance for Leicester City is ended so prematurely. Cunningham, on by Gale, and now Okoku, blocked by Watts, fired in by Leonardson. Gale shot, caught and challenged by Izit, turned away by Taylor. Heskey robbing Kimball. Leonardson is so industrious though. Here's Heskey. Deflected for a corner.
There's a ball from Gary Parker. Defenders don't close him down quick enough, and the deflection could have gone anywhere, particularly goalwards. The shot's going well wide to start with, and the deflection brings it in a little bit.
George Walsh. Gale got up in front of him. On by Grayson. Parker had to try and stay onside. Didn't quite manage it. Flag was raised. Here goes Goodman against Watts. He just had a yard start. I wonder who that is fiddling about with one of those laser beams in the crowd. Jones seems none the wiser. Cunningham. Down by Grayson. It will be a throw-in. It's Gale. And they were probably anticipating the flick on. Chance for Heskey to stretch his legs. A little short of support for the moment. Might not need it. It's Emil Heskey. Ooh, driven in towards Claridge, who didn't quite anticipate it. Julian Watts, Gary Parker. This is Jamie Lawrence. Wasn't the best of passes for him, in truth. Watts under pressure, doing well again. Fryer at the second time of asking. This is Parker. Now Grayson. Always looking to get the ball onto his favoured right foot, though. Is it? Smothered by Cunningham. Parker. Heskey. Again, bullish play from Emil Heskey. And again, it needed 3 Wimbledon defenders to crowd him out.
There's no doubt about it when the big fella gets ahead of steam up like he has there. He checks out very well to receive Gary Parker's pass. Drives forward. 1, 2, 3, fighting, scrapping, competing. And it's all hands to the pump at the last minute. But he is a continual thorn.
Koku getting in onto Gale's flick. There was an offside flag against him.
Yes, he's always on the outside shoulder, isn't he?
In the final minute of the first half. Ron, you suggested that Leicester would settle for a draw here tonight and try and patch things up for the second leg. What would Wimbledon settle for?
Well, before the game, I think no matter what they say, they'd have taken a draw. But when they see that Leicester have been depleted early on, and I think I get the feeling that the big fella may not go the distance, the big skipper. I think they would probably think they would have had a chance to kill the tie here and now, to maybe go away with a 2-0 or something. Having said that, they haven't really made a clear-cut chance, have they?
Koku now nursing an injury. I think Izzet's problem is more his boot. Here's a Leicester free kick. They're in a much better position at the same stage of this game compared to Sunday's, that's for sure. Fryer was up there, but was rather crowded out. Kimball's clearance was poor. This is Taylor. And now Lawrence. Taylor has won the throw. Is it? And now Claridge. And now Muzzy, is it? And they almost stole a half-time lead. Wimbledon lost him at the throw. And a little combination with Claridge almost provided Izzet with a goal.
Some brilliant little interplay here. Great little layoff. And I must admit, when he hit it, I thought he just did enough to curl it inside the post. Brilliant play, brilliant little link-up, and to be fair, should have scored once he completed the link-up.
Walsh with the header. Claridge down to Parker. Lawrence is forward to his right. Given away by Parker, but it really has been a sterling show from him in the circumstances. His mind has got to be elsewhere.
You wouldn't have thought so, though. I think his passing and so forth in control has been outstanding. He's just looking for targets at the moment.
Taylor trying to run Kimball. Well, Leicester City began the half with a real skip in their stride, prompted by Izzet And spearheaded by Heskey, they asked the early questions, but having lost Robert Ullathorne on his debut, they became unbalanced. The plans had to be changed, and gradually Wimbledon became more and more of a force in what has ultimately been a rather disappointing and goalless first half. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back to Filbert Street, staging the second of 3 home games in less than a week, all in separate competitions, and all vital to Leicester City. Derby County, the visitors here in the Premiership on Saturday. Scott Taylor trying to spring a surprise from the kick-off. An FA Cup run is nothing new to Wimbledon. This is their first ever semi-final in what's been a modest League Cup record in their 20 years in the professional game. Good challenge again by Watts on Gale. Mind you, Leicester have also been around in this competition since the mid-60s. They beat Stoke City in the 64 final with a team of Banks and Dugan, Appleton and Stringfellow, and lost to the Chelsea of Venables, Graham and Hollins the following year. Steve Walsh soldiering on despite that groin problem, which was very apparent in the closing stages of the first half, but Martin O'Neill has no choice really. This is Parker. Leicester do have men forward here. Heskey out wide. Mendet, Izzet and Taylor, who are not the tallest, were the 2 in pole position for the cross. Despite the push from Pryor. That's an awkward one for Keller to claim, and he couldn't. And the header just looped over the top from Koku. But Casey Keller, who hasn't conceded a goal in this Coca-Cola Cup run as yet, was a little uncertain then.
Yeah, it's an ugly ball for him to deal with, but I feel when you've got defenders the size of Leicester's, by the way, that's good getting back on the line there. Good insurance from Julian Watts. When you've got defenders the size of Leicester's, I think with a ball like that, you let them deal with it and you wait to see what happens.
This is Claridge. Now Parker. Lawrence getting forward. That's the throw. Lawrence in towards Heskey. It's a good flick, and Claridge was just beaten to it at the near post by Blackwell. In fact, a goal kick has been given.
It's a good long throw, and every time this big fella's been involved, Heskey, he's been an out-and-out problem. That looked an out-and-out corner as well, by the way. I thought Claridge played it onto the defender. Yeah, oh no, good decision. Good decision, Claridge last touch.
Forward by Jones, again accurately to Gale. Came off Walsh rather awkwardly. Leon Hartson managed to turn it on, but there's an offside flag against Goodman. It was a good little combination. Earl, who fed the ball through. John Goodman, who was caught.
I think we've got a combination of errors here, Leicester errors, and I think he may consider himself just a little bit unlucky to have been called on that one.
I think Pryor did really well to step up there just before the pass was played. He had a shoulder blade offside. Heskey winning the ball in the air, helped on by Claridge. There's a chance here for Taylor, and it almost went in off Kimball covering across. It was a real chance though for Scott Taylor.
I mean, he's made up the ground on this side. This is the area I think they can score from. This little right-hand position, that's where there seems to be an awful lot of space.
Jones dealing with the corner. Is it running? Liam Hartson off the ball. And they're winning a free kick. Well, Scott Taylor has not scored this season. Not since last March. His last goal, in fact, was against Casey Keller, who was playing for Millwall at the time. And Martin O'Neill will be aware that this is not going to be a match of many chances. Pryor is forward and was balked. Lawrence trying to force it into the box. Jones was there. Back in by Taylor. Away by Perry. Taylor making a run into the box again. Blackwell heading clear. This is Steve Claridge. Better spell for Leicester City. Muzzy is it. Into the path of Gary Parker. Here's Izzard again. 4 in support. It's a useful cross towards Heskey. Claridge is there, punched away by Sullivan, who did really well. Now Pryor. Oh, it's a disappointing cross at a time when Leicester just had Wimbledon where they wanted them, on the back foot.
Yes, they'd also got the crowd lifted for the first time for a long, long time.
Good play by Parker, on by Grayson. Heskey to Izzard. Still Simon Grayson. Now Taylor. Charged down by Kimball. And Leicester City have found some fluency and some penetration again in the last 5 minutes. Lawrence's throw towards Walsh. It's Heskey! A sharp chance, but a real chance. Walsh caused all the bother on the near post, and Heskey was just unable to take the opening.
And there's the long throw in. He just gets in first before, I think it's the defender Perry, but he can't keep over. He just can't keep over the top of it. But that is at this level and in this type of match a golden opportunity.
In by Cunningham, Woodman in pursuit. Now Walsh only as far as Ikoku. As it managed to get back to charge down the cross. He had a real influence tonight, having missed his Chelsea reunion through suspension on Sunday. A little over 20 minutes of the first leg remaining. Alan Kimball with the corner for Wimbledon. Towering header by Steve Walsh. Claridge to Taylor. Is it running free with Parker up alongside him? Here's Muzzy, is it? 4 in support. Corner kick.
Very, very good counter-attack though, isn't it? 1 minute defending a corner, the next minute striking the whole length of the field and getting the corner themselves.
There's a certain poise about a lot of what Leicester City do. Pryor landing an aerial threat at the near post. It's gone longer towards Lawrence. Heskey it was who got up.
I think you see the Wimbledon defenders, you know, they remonstrate after every corner. Watch here, they head it goes towards goal, but every Wimbledon player is cleared and left 2 Leicester players in, and they're looking for offside every time. Similar to when they caught Schmeichel in one of the earlier cup games.
Sullivan, who went with the Scotland squad to Monaco for the Estonia game last week. He wasn't actually a substitute keeper. He's got Claridge to worry about here. It's Steve Claridge. Oh, missed by a whisker. He knows how important a moment that could be in this semi-final.
Well, he's pressurised into a sloppy back pass there. And then when Claridge is desperate to get this back on his right foot to open the goal up for himself. He's opened the goal up for himself, but unfortunately... Well, he's pressurised into a sloppy back pass there. And then when Claridge is desperate to get this back on his right foot to open the goal up for himself. He's opened the goal up for himself, but unfortunately just can't get enough curl on the ball. He's beaten the keeper.
He knows how important a moment that could be in this semi-final.
Well, he's pressurised into a sloppy back pass there. And then when Claridge is desperate to get this back on his right foot to open the goal up for himself. He's opened the goal up for himself, but unfortunately just can't get enough curl on the ball. He's beaten the keeper. And it's tantalisingly close, but it's a great chance. That's three very, very good opportunities they've had this half. Gone from Heskey, that one, and Taylor had a fair old chance just after half-time. Here's good backing up play from Lance, forces his way through. Unfortunately, just can't get round the ball at the final moment.
Jones finding Goodman, now Koku. And here's Liam Hudson. Tidied up by Walsh. That injury seems to have gone away.
I was just going to say he wants to do his go in most matches. But he's playing on pure adrenaline at the moment, Big Walsh. He's been out, as you say, for such a long while. It's a chance of a lifetime for him. He's not going to let it go lightly.
I think he'll be running down the stairs in the morning somehow. Oh, the clearance from Walsh.
It's only one stairs easting, you know, and those are the steps at Wembley.
Well, he's been there before. Wells headed down towards Goodman. Walsh in attendance. Goodman got in the cross, and Keller had to deal with it.
That's more like Wimbledon. That's what you expect from them. Ball down the side, early ball in with some quality, and problems for defenders. I mean, Goodman's just whipped this one in round the corner. And he's made Keller go the distance on it.
Might just have clipped off Walsh on its way through. It certainly started to spin. Kimball will take the corner. Dealt with by Emil Heskey. On by Taylor. Blackwell though. Parker. Blackwell again. Parker. Claridge. Now Heskey. Heskey! Oh, hit the post! Sullivan had to make the stop. And just managed to turn on the post. Well, that should be a corner. That was clearly a save.
I think if I was Neil Sullivan, I think I'd go and tell the referee it was a corner. He's denied him from the save of the match, virtually. Some good link-up play against Claridge, but rebounds. There you see the strength, the power. The big man's, he's hit a sweet shot. Didn't actually look it from there, but he does touch it onto the post. Definite save onto the post. And that might just typify Leicester's night second half.
Claridge. Well seen by Kimball. One by Izzy. Here's Heskey. Throwing his weight about to some effect again. Walsh going long into stoppage time. A little bit too long for Heskey. Coca-Cola. Clean as a whistle by Steve Walsh. Emil Heskey. Gary Parker. Been an heroic effort from him. Here's Steve Claridge. Couldn't quite keep his feet. In many ways it's been a more difficult experience this for Leicester than was Sunday. With all the upset surrounding Parker before the match. They're very unfortunate not to have salvaged some kind of advantage from the first leg for a tremendously spirited performance. Losing the considerable influence as Robert Dolathorne on his debut as early as they did. They gathered themselves again for a fantastic second half assault on Neil Sullivan's goal. Wimbledon, who were muted and disappointing on the whole, will not be disappointed with the outcome, that's for sure, particularly in view of the chance that Steve Claridge had and wasted in the second half. And in view of the save that Neil Sullivan was able to make from Emil Heskey to deny him in the second half. Anguish for Martin O'Neill. Parity between Leicester City and Wimbledon after the first leg. It's finished goalless. Join us after the break for the reactions from the dressing rooms.
Welcome back. The frustrations there of the Leicester City manager Martin O'Neill. 0-0 the result of the first leg tonight. It's a good one really for Wimbledon. Now remember, we've still got our competition to come, but let's hear straight away from the Dons manager Joe Kinnear.
Joe, you survived their chances, so that must be a good result for you.
Yeah, I thought we defended magnificently. I thought the back four was, it was a really hard game, and we've had to defend in many respects. We knew we'd be put under a lot of pressure. Probably didn't keep the ball well enough up front. It was a little bit disappointing. I thought we could have. There's more to come from our front players, that's for sure.
I mean, we became a bit disorganised, obviously, with the unfortunate injury to Robert Dolathorne so early on in the game. He's arrived over here. He's played, to a very short period of time. He's gone over in his ankle, or even worse, I think he might have broken his leg. But so we were a bit disorientated from that. We had to keep on battling right to half time. But I thought the second half, I thought we did great, considering we had played less than 48 hours earlier in an FA Cup tie, and as you say, the best chances fell to us.
There's a lot more to come from this fella Heskey. He must worry you.
Absolutely, yeah. He's frightening once he gets in his stride, isn't it? He had some blistering plays early doors, wasn't it? But we stuck at it, and he's just a tough lad to play about, and you just have to be confident and hope that your centre-halves will cope with it.
Let's not kid ourselves. This is a very, very difficult tie, and it would have been lovely to have sneaked a goal here to give us something to go down there. But we didn't concede a goal at home. And I just know that at Selhurst Park, it's a couple of weeks to think about it. Between now and then, we'll try and organise ourselves again. But we'll be up for it. We'll definitely be up for the game.
Well, hopefully. And we've only lost one game the entire season at Selhurst Park, and that's the first game of the season against Manchester United. So we're pretty solid on our own ground. So hopefully it'll be the same occasion against Manchester United, and that little bit of luck, I'll certainly put them under more pressure than we did tonight. Because remember, it's over 2 legs, and it was important that we didn't get beat here tonight.
And then it would be Joe Kinnear at Wembley.
Well, it'd be nice to think so, but we never take anything for granted. We've still got the FA Cup. We're looking forward to that as well. It's a hard schedule for us at the moment. You know, we've got something like 15 games now in 5 weeks. So, but nevertheless, it's nice to still be in there. And as I say, we'll go away looking tonight. It's a really hard, well-fought draw, and we'll take resolve from that. And hopefully, we'll be able to do a little bit better, a little bit more, give them more problems up front. And who knows? It could be our year.
And Gary Newbon with the questions there. Now then, Dave, it wasn't usual passion from your old Wimbledon side, was it?
No, they were a little disappointing, and I think, just echoing what Joe said there, that the front two didn't really hold the ball up well enough. And but in saying that, they've got the strength at the back that they can always rely on.
Yes, there was really possibly only one real clear-cut chance which came from Vinnie Jones' rocket throw-in.
Yeah, Vinnie's got this this tremendous long throw which he can lob in or fizz in as he does this one, and they pick off the near post man, and unfortunately it's straight at Casey Keller there.
We thought Leicester might be a little bit tired after the FA Cup draw with Chelsea on Sunday. They didn't really show that, did they?
No, but I mean, in saying that you can say that the two most influential players in Heskey and Muzi Izzet were unavailable to play the weekend, so I think that had a bearing on it.
Yes, I think it probably did. You mentioned Heskey. He was the main threat throughout.
Yeah, I mean, he's a tremendously powerful fellow, and here you see that he hasn't really got too much going for himself, but he creates the opportunity himself, and as Neil Sullivan anticipates it thunders into the side of his face, and unfortunately goes outside the post.
Yeah, he's a little lucky it's gone there, isn't it, on that side of it. Now, he's a real powerful boy, isn't he? I think they call him Bruno, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I've witnessed him at first hand, and here again we see his strength and power in holding the ball, and he buzzes this ball across the box, and unfortunately Claridge gambles in front, whereas maybe he could have held out the back.
Do you think he should have done a little bit better with this half chance?
Again, it's a long throw. I mean, they're using it, but yeah, he gets in front of his man and slightly he hits it on the up, and the ball's always going over the bar.
The best moment coming up.
Again, I mean, you can see he's touched for a big man. He has got a good touch, and he's prepared to have a pot from the edge of the box. And I mean, great credit to Neil Sullivan with the save, and unfortunately, he doesn't get that credit off the referee.
No, as goalies, we wanted credit for that, didn't we? I mean, we want a corner there, really. Let people know that we've made the save.
That's it. Always delighted when you see it tip round the post, and you don't mind facing the corner after that.
Wimbledon have got to be careful. They've got to look after Heskey in the second leg, and also Steve Claridge, who didn't particularly have a good game tonight, but he had the best chance of the game. Yeah, I mean, Claridge, you never really know what to expect from him. He's one of these players that can be absolutely brilliant, or as tonight, he was fairly quiet, but this chance fell to him. He'd done everything right. Unfortunately, the ball gets stuck under his feet a bit, and he kicks it into the ground. And actually, on the second... You spotted here, didn't you, something? On the second bounce, it actually kicked slightly away from goal, so you never know, it might have gone in, just here. What we do see is Martin O'Neill, Dave, tearing his hair out again. Yeah, he'll end up like Jim Smith if he has many more games like this. I'm going to put you on the spot. Are the Dons going to Wembley? Do you see them getting to Wembley? Yeah, I'm like Joe. I think at Selhurst Park they're a fairly fearsome outfit, and I'm confident they'll be at Wembley on April the 6th. But their approach, how do you see that approach? I mean, I'm noticing tonight on the wires that Joe's saying, look, it's not a foregone conclusion. We've got to play in a certain way. I mean that they won't take anything for granted. They're going to give Leicester plenty of respect, and as we've already said, Heskey is definitely someone they've got to worry about. But on current form and at home, I'm every confidence they go through. Yes. OK. Thanks very much, Dave. Now then, as promised, we've